Kom, ons is besig om agter te raak. Right, number 1. Our sent a message of the group saying that don't go further than the trinomial because you'll see some of them don't work out. So just get me the first small bracket and then a trinomial. Huh? No, you didn't do something wrong. It's just, it doesn't always go through the x-axis 3 times. Sometimes it will only go through once. It depends on the point of inflection. No? Sure, but we're getting to that later today. Okay, right. So, have a look at number 1. The first one that I saw would go in was when x is minus 1. So that means that my first bracket will be x plus 1. Then we use Barry method to get 1x squared minus 10x plus 37. Any questions there? Did you guys find this easy? Good. Okay, can I skip? Niemand wat nog merk het. Right, there's number 2. Yeah. You could actually have stopped. Jy wag gou, jy kon hierso maar gestop het. Jy kon maar daar gestop het. Okay. Ek wou net gehad dat julle moet eers dit vir my oefen. Okay. Any questions at 2? Dankie. Etta? Huh? Is that right? It's fine. You just, I didn't go further. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Pasha? Okay, so no questions at 1 or 2. Okay, any questions at 2? Right. Good. There's number 3. So you would see that 1 goes in. So my first bracket is x minus 1. And then from there, I use Barry's method to get that big trinomial bracket, which will be minus 1x squared, or just minus x squared, minus 3x plus 4. What's wrong? Usually, you would go and then factorize that, so then you'll get this. And then I make each bracket 0, so then x will be, in this bracket, x will be 1. Let's say in that bracket, x will be 4. And then in this bracket, x will be. So I'm going to get, but we're going to get to that just now. Okay. So for now, I just wanted you to practice the Barry's method. Okay. Kan ek maar skip? Die wat? Ja. Ja, jy gebruik hierdie. Het jy altyd die binneste gebruik? Ah. Can I skip? Okay. Number 4. Right, any questions? Kan ek maar skip na 4, 8 na 5 toe. Last enetjie. Okay, there's number 5. Ja, wag. Okay, nou, het almal so 'n bladsy gister gekry? Nee, gister, eergister dalk al. The graph of a polynomial of that, yeah, ek wou nou net sê. Goed. So now we have done bits and pieces, right? I want us to draw this graph now. So jy kan so bo op hom aantekeninge maak. Okay? Okay, so drawing of a third. Yeah, cool. Polynomial. Is that supposed to be an I? Okay, so the drawing of a third degree polynomial. Now, you guys, why do we use third degree? Because you would see in all of these, I had x to the power of 3. No? X to the power of 3. So third degree. No? You guys good? Okay. Now, the steps for drawing a third degree polynomial is basically the same as the steps for when we draw a parabola. No? Except they add 2 more steps after that. No? Okay. So, what was step 1 where we had to draw a parabola? We had to determine the shape. No, is it positive or negative? Okay. Then, what was step 2? We got the y-intercept. How did we get that? We made x 0. Okay. Step 3 was get the x-intercept, or the, not turning point yet, no? X-intercepts, how do we do that? We make y 0. Okay. Then the fourth step was to get the turning point. No. Okay, now that turning point, I had to get the x value first, and then I substituted in to get the y value. No, so those were the 5 steps of a parabola. Exactly the same for the third degree polynomial. Now, you will see that I wrote down the 7 steps over here. Step 1 says, decide whether the graph goes up and then down, or does it first go down and up? Okay, nou, ek gaan gou hierso vir jou krap. Kyk gou. If you think of a straight line, when it's got a positive graph, when it's a positive graph, the straight line, the gradient, will look like that. No? Okay? So that's how I remember. That this positive one will first go up and then down and up. Okay. So kom ons maak miskien gou so. Okay. When it's a negative graph, for a straight line, that would be what the gradient would look like. No. So for the third degree, I would first go down and then up, down. Okay. So that's how I decide on the shape. Okay. So you will see that at step 1 over here, they say as die koëffisiënt van x tot die mag 3 positief is, lyk dit so. So go fill it in. If it's positive, what would it look like? First go up and then down up. Then the next one, if the coefficient of x to the power 3 is negative, the graph goes down, up, down. So skryf hom daar, teken hom daar vir jou in. You guys all good with that? Okay, now weet ons hoe die grafiek lyk. So we've got shape done. Then, step 2. Find the y-intercept. Do this by making x equal to 0. So vul daar vir jou in. Kyk daar so. Step 2, x, and then over here there's a little line left open. Make x 0. So now if you skryf, step 2, I get y-intercept. Make x equal to 0. Okay. Goed. Step 3. We need to get the x. Kom ons skryf verslag Afrikaans, afsnit. How do I get that x-intercept? I make y equal to 0. Is julle reg daar? Okay. Any questions so far? Now, I want us to, as we go along, Do the example on the right hand side. So, op die regterkant van hierdie bladsy. Okay. Ek gaan nou die hele tyd skip, dat ek kan saam met jou werk. Gee hulle vir my. Y is gelyk aan minus x tot die mag 3 plus 14x kwadraat minus 49x plus 36. Okay, so we have got to go and draw that graph. Okay, so step 1 was get the shape. Nou, waarna gaan kyk ek nou weer? I look at the coefficient of x to the power 3. And that is a negative. So, hoe gaan hierdie grafiek lyk? Okay, hy is negatief, so hy gaan lyk down, up, down. Nou, right? Now we at step 2, which is the y-intercept. Met ander woorde, ek gaan nou vir x gaan gelyk maak aan 0. Quickly do that for me. You can somewhere do it on that page. As x 0 is, wat gaan y wees? What would be my y-intercept? Go substitute in. Hoeveel? 36. Does everyone agree? You guys good? Good. Step 3. What was step 3? I need x-intercept. So ek gaan nou vir y gaan gelyk maak aan 0. Nee, okay. Nou daar gaan jy sien op jou bladsytjie het hulle klaar vir jou begin invul. Jy gaan nou hierdie hele vergelyking vat. And make it equal to 0. Okay, look at the next step. At the next step, you'll see they don't have minus x to the power 3, nee? Because we don't want that negative, so let's take it out. Nee, so dan lyk hy eintlik so, minus looks like that. Nee, but grade 12, is it necessary for me to write that negative there? No, so you could just, and you'll see they have it like that on the page, have written that. Nee. Sê julle reg? Okay, now, exactly like you did for homework, by using Barry's method, hulle was baie nice, hulle het klaar vir my gesê, dat 1 is 'n factor. So, x minus 1, you must get me the trinomial. And then after that, factorize the trinomial. So, gaan vul gou daar vir my in. Op jou bladsy, everything is there. You just got to go work it out on the right-hand side and fill it in. Doen sommer daar vir Barry's method on the side. guys done? Okay. Wie gaan vir my sê? Wat was jou 3 term? Who wants to give me their trinomial? Otherwise, I'm going to ask for names. Ja. Het jy 'n minusse? Positive x squared minus 13x plus 36. Waar het jy verkeerd gegaan? Het jy die minus uitgehaal hierso of het jy hom van daar af gebruik? Het jy hierso daai minus daar weg? Het jy hierdie minus weggevat? As 'n minus gehou, nee. Okay. So jou antwoord is nie verkeerd nie, nee. Jy kan daai minus x kwadraat plus 13x minus 36, maar dan gaan jy daarna 'n minus uithaal. Okay. En dan sou jy nog steeds jou volgende hakie sou dieselfde gewees het. So kyk gou-gou. Okay, so x squared minus 13x plus 36. Okay, then you factorized that trinomial. What did you get? And? Good. Okay. Did the rest of you also get that one? Right. So now we're not done yet. Because right underneath that it says x is equal to what? Or x is equal to what? Or x is equal to what? Want wat doen ons nou? We make each bracket equal to 0. Nee. So the first bracket, x will be 1. Okay. Second bracket, x will be 9. Ooh. Third bracket, x will be 4. Okay. Now people, you see that there are 3 values for x. In other words, it's going to cut through my x-axis at 3 places. Nou net gewoon vir jou te wys. Sê maar my x-as loop so deur. Kyk gou daar. 1, 2, 3 plekkies. Can you guys start seeing it? Nee. Okay. Right. Then step 4. Dit het ons nou nog nie gedoen nie. Right. So I'm back on this page. At step 4. Same as which we had to do with a parabola. Now we've got to get our turning points. No. Waar is die draaipunt op my grafiek? Okay, so step 4. Get turning points. Okay, nou wil ek gou vir jou wys. If my graph looks like this. Okay. Think of the parabola. Right? My turning point was over here. It goes up, 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 and then at that point, it stops, and now it goes down all of a sudden. No. Or if it was the other way around, it goes down, 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 and then it stops here, and now it starts going up, 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 up. No. Okay, so. So you guys can actually guess that my turning points will be over there and over here. Do you guys agree? Okay, no. Kyk gou hier. This will be a positive gradient, positive gradient, positive gradient. And now it starts turning. So now it will be negative, 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 negative. Starts turning, positive, positive, positive. Nee. But what is my gradient at that point? Is it positive or is it negative? Huh? Wie wil raai? It's neither. It's not positive or negative. No. Okay? Because at that point, it's stationary. It was going up, and now it starts going down. So at that point, it's not positive or negative. No. And there's also no gradient. Gradient will be equal to 0. So kyk gou hier. Jy kan daar vir jou, of dit wys daar op jou dingetjie. Gradient is equal to 0. En hierso, gradient equal to 0. Now, way back in the beginning of this chapter, can you remember that when we did derivatives, ek het vir jou gesê dat afgeleide is gelyk aan gradient. Nee. So wat ons hier doen, if we want to calculate the turning point, I'm going to make derivative equal to 0. Does that make sense? No, because derivative is gradient, and we know gradient must be 0, I'm going to make derivative equal to 0. See that right? Okay. So, waar's my stappie? Laat ek net gou deurlees. They say, find the x coordinates of the turning points, the stationary points. Stationary because it's not going up or down. Hy staan stil, né? Stationêre punte. They say at those 3 little bullets, get the derivative. Second bullet, make derivative equal to 0. And then the third bullet, solve x. Okay, so kom ons kyk gou. You guys have been taught to get derivative. Onthou julle nog? We take the exponent and multiply it with a coefficient. Onthou julle? Not first principles, kort methode. Nee. Okay, so kry gou vir my. So as f, daar sê hulle vir jou, waar is jou stappie? Ag nee man, hulle gee dit. Ai, okay, kyk gou hier, as y was mos gewees minus x tot die mag 3 plus 14x kwadraat minus 49x plus 36. Okay, en onthou julle, omdat ek werk met y, to get derivative, we're going to say dy over dx. Onthou julle? Nee? Okay, so if I take that 3, multiply it with a minus 1, that's how they get minus 3 x to the power of 2, want ek het enetjie gaan aftrek. 2 times the 14 gives me the 28, x to the power of 1. Maar ek hoef nie daai enetjie te skryf nie, nee. Okay, and then over here, that's actually a 1, so 1 times minus 49 will be minus 49, x to the power of 0. So ek hoef nie om te skryf nie. And then the derivative of a constant is always 0. Okay. Now, they say make this derivative equal to 0. So minus 3x kwadraat plus 28x minus 49. I make it equal to 0. Now is dit 'n lekker gewone trinomial. Do you guys see that? Okay. So go find out what x will be. So basically factorize, né? That's at the bottom of your page. Kykie, jy moet net daar vir my gaan invul. Factorize and get me what x will be. Remember, you can use formula as well, né? Jy mag formule ook gebruik. Okay. Do you still remember that one? Minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4a. No? Okay, I say. Is julle klaar? You guys done? Okay. Yes, sis. Okay, kyk gou-gou hierso. Did you guys also get x is 7 or x is 7 over 3? No. Okay, now that is the x values at my turning point. Now, exactly like we did in the parabola, I now have to go and get the y values. So what do you usually then do? Take that x value and substitute it into the equation. But the important part here is, en ek dink ek staan agter, ek staan nie agterop nie. Dit staan tog agterop, ekskuus. The important part is that you have to substitute these x values into the original equation, nee? Not into the derivative. Okay. Goed, so daar staan hy onderaan vir jou, die gradiënt van 'n kromme by die draaipunt is gelyk aan die gradiënt van die raaklyn aan die kromme by daai nee, dis nie dit wat ek wil sê nie. Hierso, step 5. Find the y values of the turning points. Stel die x waardes wat jy in stap 4 kry in die oorspronklike, highlight original, oorspronklike vergelyking in. Okay? Because if you go substitute this into the derivative, you're just going to get 0. Nee? En dan gaan jy dink dit moet die punt wees en dan gaan jy totaal en al confused wees as jy jou skets teken. So please remember, go substitute it into the original equation. Okay, so step 5. Gaan stel gou dit dan nou vir my daarin asseblief. Go substitute those in. Right. Dames en heren, dus tijd voor uitvoeringend. No, ma'am. Flight, my security is fine. That was What was that? 7 over, wat het ek gekry? 7 over 3. Wat van die blaar?